Okay, so let's go back now. Number 7. What is the way out of this mess?
Yeah.
The way that you think as a total victory for Israel, and then what would happen after that, and there would be a tremendous cost to human life. I don't know. This, like I said to you last time, also, there's two messes, right? There's one mess, which is the mess of Gaza right now, and how is that going to end? That's one mess, but there's a bigger mess, which is the whole situation between us and the Palestinians. And I have no idea. I have no idea. Like I said to you last time, I can't see Israel's approach changing. Meaning, like, is it possible that there will again be a more leftist government, and maybe some of the things will, change? That's definitely possible. The government goes back and forth over time. But as far as an actual solution, I can't see that happening without a major change of leadership on the Palestinian side. Like when Abbas is going to die eventually, and I don't know who's coming up next. They never hold elections. They're in Hamas, and Abbas has been holding his position for 20 years now. It's supposed to be elections and all that, which is just ridiculous. But I hope that somebody more pragmatic will come in. I hope that somebody with more of a head for peace and more of a wants to actually make something work. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I wish I had the answer. I really don't know. But like I said to you last time, Israel is not going to be doing any more suicidal deals, right? In other words, they're certainly, just like they gave up in Gaza in order to try to, they're not going to do that in the West Bank. They will not. They're not going to risk that entire area becoming a terrorist den. They're just not going to risk it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in Gaza afterwards.
What would you like to see?
I would like to see the Palestinian leadership that comes in. There are young people, mostly not in Israel, meaning they're not in the West Bank, they're in foreign countries because it's not safe for them to be here. But there are pragmatic Palestinian people, younger the generation, that does see a path towards peace and does see a way that this could come to, some sort of a resolution. I would love for one of those people to be in charge and to actually work with Israel and try to create some sort of a two-state situation. How is that going to happen now? And I don't know. I really don't know. I agree with you. It's very, very, very hard to picture how that could be.
I can't imagine a two-state solution. How, with what, like, where would this country of Palestine be with what I see on the ground?
Right. I don't know.
I don't know. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it would have to be a three-state solution. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what the solution is. It's a very, very, very distressing, thinking about the future, because I just have no idea what's going to be and how it's going to end up being. My main concern is that it shouldn't flare up into a bigger war. That's, with Iran constantly trying to make things happen. I'm hoping in Iran that the leadership will change at some point. There revolution, maybe it will happen over there. I don't know. But I don't know. It's very bleak. I agree. It's a very, very bleak future. And I agree with you that the people who suffer the most as a result are the regular average Palestinians, like the people that you met that just want to live, they just want to work, they just want to raise their family, they just want to, and they're pawns in a terrible, terrible chess game. And I don't know. I really don't know what the solution is. I don't know. It's a terrible, terrible.
The solution I always offer is absorbing as many of them as possible into Israel and making them into Israelis. But I suppose you don't see that as an option.
Well, if they would actually, like, legitimately, let's take a step back. Right? I'm sure you know about, like, all the migrants that moved into Europe and America over the past 20 years. And now a lot of people are getting very nervous because these are people that moved into these countries and they don't accept that country's culture. They don't accept that country's, mores. And now they're having very second thoughts. Like, maybe we shouldn't have let all these people come in and be this way. Right?
I have some friends who are very vocal about that. Not me, but I know some people who it's like on their minds constantly.
Yes. And certain countries in Germany, for example, I don't know what's going to be there in 20 years. You know what I mean? It's really very interesting. We'll have to see.
In Belgium, we had an organization called Sharia for Belgium. I think the leader is in prison. Belkacem, I think is his name. I could tell you a lot about Belgium if you want. Situation is also not so optimal. In the northern part, the probably the biggest party is a far right party. All other parties have had something called cordon sanitaire against them. They don't want to form a government with them, which angers a lot of people and probably helps them grow because they never get a chance to form a coalition or be part of a government. So yeah, I know this problem quite well, you know.
Right. Right. So I just, so that we wouldn't stand for, meaning Palestinians that would want to become part of Israel, but that still don't believe Israel should exist and believe, what I mean? So that we're not going to do. But let's say if magically there would
Yeah, it
be
would be like
Palestinians.
a. You're saying it would be like a Trojan horse.
Exactly, a Trojan horse, exactly. But if there would be a movement within the Palestinian people, and that they would, actually legitimately say, no, we recognize that, Israel is a Western democracy, and we recognize that this is so then I think
And
most of us would not have a
but
problem.
again, I'm very cynical. Like a cynic is a disappointed idealist, right? Like deep down,
Yes,
I'm an idealist, but I became a cynic.
yes.
How would you know that? Like, how would you
Right. So
know
I think it's only
that they are
theoretical because
serious? That it's not just rhetoric?
correct. Yeah, I think it's only theoretical. But I'm just saying theoretically, I don't think we would be against that. Practically, I don't see that happening for that exact reason because I think it's impossible to know, and nobody's going to risk it. We're not going to risk, we're not going to risk that. So I really don't know. It's a very I
Mhm.
I don't know what's going to be in my lifetime, my children's lifetime.